What if I told you you could close a $15,000 roofing deal and still only get paid 600 bucks? And worse, most reps don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. What's up, Roof Money Pros? Mike here at Roof Money Pro, and my mission is to help roofing professionals like you maximize your career and build real wealth. This channel exists for one specific person, the rep who's out there closing deals, stacking commissions, running hard, and still looking at his bank account at the end of the year, wondering where the hell it all went. If that's you, hit that subscribe button right now. Now here's the truth nobody tells you when you get into roofing sales. You can work your ass off, close big numbers, and still feel completely broke. Not because you're doing something wrong, because you don't fully understand how your pay actually works. And some companies aren't exactly rushing to explain it. But what I'm going to tell you about today isn't going to require any complicated analysis. It's a simple breakdown of how roofing sales pay actually works and how you can determine what a good commission structure looks like so you know exactly where your money goes on every single deal. And stick with me because towards the end, I'm going to show you the exact 3 questions you can ask any roofing company that will instantly tell you if their pay plan is actually good or if you're going to get screwed. Let's get into it. Here's the part nobody explains clearly, and it's why so many reps walk around confused about their own income. Roofing sales pay is not instant. There's a chain of events between the moment you shake hands on a deal and the moment money hits your account. You close a contract, the job gets scheduled, materials get ordered, the crew installs the roof, the homeowner pays. Then, after all of that, your commission gets processed. According to industry data, the average roofing sales rep experiences a 30 to 45 day delay between closing a deal and getting paid. That's a month and a half of work already done before you see a dollar. And guess what? You might have already spent a month prior to all that just getting that homeowner to sign on the dotted line. And if you ever wonder why your bank account feels off, even when you're closing deals, this is exactly why. Most reps mentally spend the commission the day they close the deal. Then they're blindsided when it doesn't show up on the timeline they expected. Now let me give you some real context here because I lived this firsthand. In my first year in roofing sales, my comp and structure was changed on me 3 times. Not once, 3 times. When I started, the model was simple. Sell a job, the company counts your monthly revenue, and you get paid the following month based on what you sold. Clean on paper. But the problem is the company is paying you out whether that homeowner ever cuts a check or not. Sounds good for the sales rep in the short term, but horrible if the business goes under from too many accounts receivable outstanding. Then we switched. To qualify for a commission payout, the homeowner now had to pay their deductible or make a required down payment first. Suddenly, deals where the homeowner dragged their feet didn't count until they moved. As a rep, you felt that immediately. Then we switched again. This time, you only got paid when the homeowner actually made a payment. Full stop. Down payment, get a commission. Payment when materials arrive prior to installation, get a commission. The homeowner makes final payment after the job's complete, get a commission. When combined, the total commission was the overall percentage of the gross contract value. No payment from the homeowner, no commission. That model tied your earnings directly to whether the homeowner was financially responsible and forced us to get involved if they weren't picking up the phone for our account managers. It sounds tough, but it made everyone more selective about the deals they pushed through. Then came the timeline change, and this one was a game changer. We went from getting paid once a month based on the previous month's production to getting paid weekly on any qualifying commissions. In commission-based sales, income can swing 2 to 5 times month to month when you don't understand your pipeline. Weekly payouts flatten that roller coaster. For a rep living deal to deal, that difference is everything. The point is, roofing sales pay is not standard. It varies, and it can change depending on the company's objectives. If you don't know exactly what model you're operating under right now, you cannot predict your income. Not all commission structures are built the same, and the difference between them can cost you thousands without even noticing. Let's break down the most common. Straight commission. You sell, you earn a percentage. No floor, no ceiling, high risk, high reward. Hot streak, this is incredible. Dry spell, there's nothing to catch you. Draw against commission. You get a guaranteed advance, say $1,500 to $2,000 a month, to pull from between payouts. But here's what a lot of reps miss. That draw is not free money or a salary. It's an advance against what you're going to earn. If your commissions don't cover it, you might owe the company. Some forgive draws, some don't. Know the terms before you take it. Salary plus commission. A smaller base to keep the lights on with commissions on top. Sounds less exciting, but don't write it off yet. Tiered commission. Your percentage increases as your volume increases. Hit a threshold, unlock a higher rate. Rewards your best months. Just know what tier you're actually hitting before you get excited about the top number. Now here's the real world version. When I was in the field, we started with straight commission and a draw. A few months later, we moved to a tiered structure. Then we settled on a small salary plus a reduced commission percentage. And when that last switch happened, some guys couldn't see past the lower percentage. They walked, left for a competitor offering a higher rate. And this is where most reps get it wrong. That higher percentage came with zero company-generated lead flow. Their first week, they were knocking doors from sunup to sundown in the Texas heat, chasing every lead themselves with no support. These guys were natural closers, but weak prospectors. Most reps underestimate their actual earnings by 20 to 40% because they calculate off the percentage without accounting for the volume needed to make it work. As soon as those guys realized what they gave up, some of them tried to come back, only to be denied. The math only works if the deals are there. This is the question every rep asks, and most of the time, they're asking it wrong. Typical commission rates in roofing sales run anywhere from 6 to 12% on gross revenue, or 30 to 50% on net profit margin, depending on how the company structures it. Those are wide ranges for a reason. The model matters just as much as the number. Here's what most reps don't think about. Company overhead plays a massive role in what percentage is actually sustainable. Larger companies with more infrastructure, more staff, and more marketing carry higher overhead. The overhead comes out of the margin before you ever see your cut. Smaller companies might offer a higher percentage, but leave you hunting for every lead with no back-end support. You also might be the door knocker, the closer, and the project manager. A rep chasing 12% with no lead pipeline is not necessarily making more than a rep at 8% with steady company-generated work landing in their lap every single week. And if you missed this next part, nothing else in this video matters because it's the main reason why sales reps misunderstand their pay. Revenue is the total contract amount. Profit is what's left after all the costs doing that job are paid. Commissions in roofing are built around one of two things: gross revenue or net profit. Gross revenue model. You earn a percentage of the total contract. Simple, predictable. You know your number the minute you close. Net profit model. You earn a percentage of what the company made after costs. Harder to calculate up front because the final costs aren't always locked in until the job wraps. Now watch what happens when you actually follow the money on a deal. This is the part nobody explains, and it's the main reason your check is smaller than you expected. Let's break down a $15,000 roofing deal from the top. First, materials. Let's say dimensional shingles, underlayment, accessories. Typically 30 to 40% of the contract. On a $15,000 deal, call it $5,000. Labor, the crew doing the install, another 20 to 30%. Let's call it $3,500. Overhead, company trucks, insurance, software, admin, workers' comp, call it $2,000. Marketing, ads, leads, canvassing support, another $500 to $1,000. Company profit margin, because the business has to make money to keep operating, another 10 to 15%. After all of that, more than 70% of that roofing contract is already spoken for before your commission is even calculated. What's left is your commissionable base if you get paid based on profit. On this $15,000 deal, that could be $1,500 to $2,500 in actual margin. At 40% of that, your commission lands somewhere between $600 to $1,000, not the $1,500 you were calculating in your head when you shook hands on the deal, unless your comp plan pays based on gross revenue. There's nothing more frustrating than working your ass off and still feeling broke. You start questioning if it's you, when really it's a structure you never fully understood. And that's where frustration turns into burnout for a lot of guys. If this is hitting a little too close to home right now, that's exactly why I built the Feast system. It's what I use to help reps go from unpredictable income and surprise paychecks to knowing exactly what they're going to make before the month even starts. I break it down step by step in a free weekly live training. Links in the description. You can also get started today with the course below. Now, back to the confusion itself. The number one mistake reps make is confusing the contract value with their commission base. Closing a $20,000 deal does not mean you earn $20,000 in commissionable income. That number is the top of the funnel. Your commission sits right at the bottom, after materials, after labor, after overhead, and after company margin. Reps also assume all roofing companies operate the same way. They don't. One company's 10% commission is based on gross revenue and another's is based on net profit. Those are completely different calculations, and that confusion causes reps to compare job offers apples to oranges without even realizing it. And a lot of this isn't the rep's fault. Companies don't always explain their pay structure clearly up front. Vague pay plans benefit the company, not you. If you can't explain in plain English how your check is calculated, that's a problem worth solving before your next deal closes. That's how guys get burnt out in this industry. Not from lack of effort, from lack of clarity. Here's the bottom line. Both models are completely legit. Being paid off gross revenue is standard in this industry. That's how I was paid my entire career, and it was the norm in my market. The key is not which model is better. The The key is knowing exactly which one you're on and understanding what it means for your actual take home before you close your next deal. A company that won't show you the rough breakdown or where the money goes on a deal is a red flag. If you can't see the math, you can't verify the math. Now here are the 3 questions I promised you, and if a company can't or won't answer these clearly, that's your answer. Question 1, is the commission based on revenue or profit? This one question changes everything about how you calculate your potential earnings. Don't assume, ask directly. Question 2, what are average job margins? If it's profit-based, this tells you the actual commissionable base you're working with. A company that doesn't know their own margins or won't share them is a yellow flag. Question 3, when are commissions paid and are there chargebacks? Monthly, weekly, after install, after homeowner payment? And what happens if a job goes sideways? Does that come back out of your commission? Those 3 questions will tell you more about a pay plan than any pitch a recruiter gives you. Also, ask about commission caps. If you have monster months, a cap directly limits your upside. And look for alignment. When the company wins, you should win too. If they're running strong margins and you're barely scraping by, that's not a partnership. The best reps in this industry are not chasing the highest percentage. They're looking for 4 things. Simple math. If it takes a spreadsheet and 2 phone calls to figure out what you earned on a deal, the structure is way too complicated. And complicated structures usually hide something. Consistent volume. This is for the guys making the trade-off between payout and prospecting. A reliable pipeline of company-generated leads beats a higher commission rate with no support, every single time. Clear payout timelines. Clearly defined payouts create cash flow you can plan around. Vague payout rules create volatility. That difference matters when you have real financial obligations. True alignment. This doesn't necessarily mean equality, but when the company wins, the rep should win too. That's the structure we're staying in. Most reps don't fail in roofing sales because they can't sell. They failed because they never learned how the money actually works until it was too late and they were in a financial bind. Now you have that edge. You know how to assess a pay structure. You know where the money goes on every single deal, and you know what questions to ask before you ever sign on with a new company. Hey Roof Money Pros, if this helps you, then be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because every video on this channel is built to help you stop leaving money on the table. But here's the next problem. Even if you understand your pay structure, most reps still have no idea what they're actually keeping after taxes, slow months, and everything in between. So in the next video, I'm breaking down a $10,000 deal line by line so you can see exactly how you build wealth in this career before the commission disappears. Don't guess on this. Go see the numbers for yourself. Thanks for watching. And in the meantime, keep stacking, keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.